All right, what's good, y'all? Let me move my hand out the way. I'm doing this quick video as I wanted to just give y'all my take, my personal opinion, my personal take on the situation that's going on with Diddy, the arrest, my thoughts. Before I even get too far into it, make sure y'all like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, as this is one of those things that we're going to be covering on a daily. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna of course respond to things that we cover as far as in real life. So with that being said, I know you guys are wondering what's the status of Jaguar WRI's reaction to this. To be honest, we already got it. We already got her response. We had some technical issues as things were, she was still watching the news live as we were talking about this thing. So we had some technical issues, so we had to cut it kind of short. But I think we're still gonna put out the actual conversation we had, even though it's a little staticky because we did a virtual. Even though it's a little staticky, I think we're still gonna put it out because y'all deserve Jaguar WRI's live reaction to what it is, and we'll label it live reaction. So therefore, y'all will know that this is live, even if it's static or not. We may keep it up, we may take it down, and we may just do it again later today. Because again, this is one of those situations where we want to call her in and get her thoughts immediately as far as what she feels, her take on the Diddy case. Uh, One thing I want to do with you guys today is I just want to, of course, address some of the things that our lawyer said. We did an interview with the real life lawyer. Shout out Larry Taylor. If you don't follow him, go follow Larry Taylor, uh, attorney Larry Taylor. I forget his actual website, but go follow him. And of course, watch his interviews on our channel over at Real Life Street Stars. With that being said, I want to kind of have a conversation with you guys to see kind of what your guys' thoughts are as far as what can and may happen next with all this. This is Larry. I'm gonna give him a call right back. It's actually Larry calling me now, but I'm gonna call him right back. So give me a second. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna call him right back. So the first questions I had was of course, first of all, I see that Diddy offered millions and millions of dollars to go home. He did not want to be in jail. I believe he offered 50. I think they settled for 75 million. So they said, hey, for 75 million dollars, cash money right now. Remember, Takashi was given, I think he only had to pay $4 million, or I forgot how much he offered. He offered 1 million or 4 million. They didn't release him, but he offered like $1 or $4 million, or I think $3 million to get out. Diddy's offered 50. They said that's not enough. We want 75. So with that being said, yeah, he got his $75 million. They let him out, and I think he's on his way home right now. Jaguar said she did want to see a perp walk. She said she wants to see him in handcuffs, putting him in the car. That video should be released for the victims to at least know that he's not getting special treatment. And I agree with her. That should be released for the victims. That shows that he's not getting special treatment. He's not above the law. He can't hide the perp walk at least. So I would love to see what happens with that. Now, with that being said, the things I'm curious about is this. I am curious about, what will happen to all his lawsuits. Diddy was, of course, involved in a few lawsuits. They all came through. He paid Cassie's lawsuit. I heard, he just had one for 100 million that I believe did not go through. So I do wonder what will happen to each of his lawsuits that, of course, I'm sure some 10 million, 100 million, 50, whatever the lawsuits are, how long are those delayed? I'm curious from an attorney standpoint, what leeway does Diddy have? What leeway does his accusers have to be able to get their money, or him to say he don't know it? So lawsuits is kind of big on my mind as far as what will happen with that. I am curious about the celebrities that will be involved in this. We seen, of course, we did a dope interview with Omar Gooding. He talked about his brother being at the Diddy parties, or he didn't talk about it. He stated that, hey, we don't talk about that. But we did see a video that Lil Rod, or Lil Ron, I forget his name, but Lil Rod, the producer, he had of Cuba Gooding Jr. At a Diddy situation. Now I don't want to just single out Cuba Gooding Jr. There's a lot of people that were seen with Diddy at these Diddy parties. So I do wonder what all celebrities will be brought up to be spoken to by the federal government about what they seen at these parties, what's happening, what's gonna happen. I'm curious about just the way they're going to take this as far as on a celebrity standpoint. I think even Donald Trump might have been at a Diddy party early on or something of that nature back in the late 90s or something. All the celebrities hang together, so I am curious of what they're going to do with that. I am curious of how far that's going to go, and yeah, just see where see what happens. Um, I was wondering about how much time he's looking at. I know they stated that these charges carry anywhere from 15 years to life. I don't think he'll get life in prison, especially when you give $75 million to the government just for bond. I don't, and y'all let me know because I don't know how this works. Do you get your bond money back? Is that something you give up and the government keeps, or do you get your bond money back? I do not know how that works. I don't deal with bonds a lot, so let me know how that works. If you get the bond money back once you're found not guilty and you get out, how does that work? But I do wonder as far as how much time he'll do. If it'll just be a bare minimum 15 years, and if he does do 15 years, because he's federal with this, it might just be 18 months he has to serve of that. Diddy is 54 years old right now. He could possibly get out a little over 64. As far as 85% of his time, he could still get out, fairly young, or to what we may consider young for a millionaire, billionaire. So I'm curious how much time. I doubt they'll give him life. Even R. Kelly didn't get life. They still gave him 30 plus, but not life. Even though the sentence carried up to life, I don't think they'll get life out of that. For the sealed indictment, I do wonder what's more going to come of that. The 14 pages is crazy. Baby oils, freak off cocktails, drugs, people getting paid off to be quiet. It's a racketeering charge, so they're saying it's a criminal organization, which I think they might have already talked to some people to where Diddy might be the only person in this, same way R. Kelly was. People wonder, how is it a RICO when they say it's a criminal organization and you use the word organization and it's a RICO? How does only one person go to jail? Well, there are ways to be able to say, hey, everyone who was part of this RICO have all told on the boss. And because they all told him the boss, we're going to not put y'all in jail, and yet the boss goes to jail. So it could be a situation like that where everyone that's involved in the RICO, maybe the government already talked to, and they're willing to flip on Diddy for no time at all. So I'm very curious to see where that goes, as far as just how much time he'll get and who will come about. For them, of course, federal court don't use cameras. Jaguar WRI said she would love to see an exception made. I personally would love to see an exception made for this as well, because this is our generation's OJ, where young black people may be rooting for Diddy. He's a Howard alumni. He helped a lot of careers. He is the music of the 90s, 2000s, era. So I wonder if they'll allow cameras in the courts to have us be able to be a part of this trial. Plus, it's just good for education and kind of, I think sometimes, the world needs to see what's going to come out, so therefore the world could take heed and the world could take notice. And in that trial, even if they don't put cameras, I'm just curious of what stories are going to come out from the victims, from the prosecution, what we're going to hear, like what is going to happen, what kind of wild stuff was Diddy into, man. I'm just curious of where that's going to go, and go from there. Another question I had was his assets. Will he put his assets in his mom's name? Will he put his assets in his son's name? Will his sons get involved? Will they be held, used by the prosecution or the defense? Will they be guilty of anything if they do more research? Because again, there's been allegations all over the place. So his assets, his homes, his cars, his houses, his whatever he has in the bank, if he has CDs or whatever he has, whatever he owns, paintings, where does all that go? He's a billionaire. Where do you put all that to hopefully keep some type of money around to be able to still live your life? Because I wonder how much do they seize? They may seize homes. They may seize things. If he did things in the recording studio, they may seize the recording studio, saying that this was used to further his criminal organization. Because now we're talking criminal. We're not talking civil. But also, I want y'all to tell me, do y'all feel like his apology hurt when he kind of said man, I was effed up. Man, I was in a dark place. Does that hurt him now that they arrested him? Do you think that apology hurts him, or does it make you feel any different about this situation? Because in my opinion, that apology pleasing to your guilty. You only apologize if you're guilty. So when you say I'm sorry, that means you're sorry for something. Uh, with that being said, I don't think he should have did apology, especially now that they brought the charges on him. But because he did, I think they're gonna play back on that. Like, well, he's saying that's an excuse because he was effed up or he was in a dark place that he could do these things. No, that's not. That's no excuse. Ignorance is no excuse. Being bad or being messed up or having being in a dark place, that's no excuse for doing any type of criminal activity at all. So with that being said, when they did talk about the 1,000 bottles of baby oil, that's the only thing that had me taken back. That again, I'm a grown man and I don't know what 1,000 bottles of baby oil is needed for. I don't care how many freak offs you have. It's hard to go through 1,000 bottles of baby oil doing anything, rubbing your legs, your hands, just squirting on the floor. It's hard to go through 1,000 bottles of anything. What are you doing with a stockpile of so much baby oil? You got enough for a nuclear holocaust. You got enough for your future generations. Like your kids shouldn't need baby oil. Um, that's a lot of baby oil. I don't know what you're gonna do with that much baby oil, but that's one thing that I think 50 Cent already made a post about the baby oil. So there's 50 Cent's already on it. So when they brought up the Kid Cudi vehicle situation where now as you know the details where he took a Molotov cocktail, meaning he took an alcoholic bottle with a string with some cloth outside of it, lit it on fire, cut open his sunroof, threw the bottle in. Um, Man, arson. That's another charge. So it's kind of wild seeing Chris Hansen talk about this. Chris Hansen's from To Catch a Predator. To see him reporting on this on the news, I'm like, man, this is all going crazy. I'm just curious y'all thoughts on where this is gonna go with Diddy. Let's just have these conversations ongoing because I want to get your thoughts. So make sure you comment. Tell me what your thoughts are. This is gonna be quick. We're gonna hit some more topics later. We still got to touch on Bashir Gray. He had Diddy allegations back in the day. We got to touch on Bieber, Usher, even Donald Trump. I know he was just got a second assassination attempt, but I believe he was at some parties. Again, I don't know what, but I believe he was there. So let's tune back in. We're gonna do a Jaguar a little bit later on today, but for now, let's tune back in to what's going on in the news. I'll come back in at night. Stay tuned for Jaguar on the Real Life channel, and y'all stay tuned. I'll be back on this channel to discuss the Jaguar situation. So I'll see y'all then. All right.